So yet another Donald Trump ally, associate, longtime friend, confidant, has been indicted. This time it's a guy named Tom Barrack. Let's talk about this latest indictment, and then let's try to figure out whether it might provide some momentum to move us in the direction of holding Donald Trump accountable for his many crimes. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So, a close Donald Trump loyalist, ally, longtime friend, guy named Tom Barrack, was criminally indicted today by the Department of Justice, specifically by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. That's the Brooklyn office. And here's the headline today by the BBC. Thomas Barrack, top Trump aide, accused of working as a foreign agent. And Thomas Barrack was also the chairman of Donald Trump's inaugural committee. And what we learned by going through this 46-page indictment, a speaking indictment, lots of details in there about the crimes of Thomas Barrack and his two co-defendants. We learned that Barrack was a foreign agent for the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. He was a mouthpiece. He was a shill. He was doing their bidding. He was working toward promoting their priorities and their agenda in the United States. And he hid all that from the United States government. He was required to register as a foreign agent with the Department of Justice, and he didn't. But this is not just some failure to file a form, right? This is not a minor offense. Because what Tom Barrack and his co-defendants did were they took direction from United Arab Emirate national security officials, military officials, and they were tasked with those UAE officials. I use the word tasked because that's what's in the indictment, with influencing United States policy, with pushing the UAEs' priorities, not the United States' priorities. And throughout this indictment, the word praise keeps coming up. Tom Barrack's handlers, his Emirati handlers, were telling him, we want you to praise this UAE official. We want you to praise this UAE policy. And Tom Barrack would dutifully go on national TV and do exactly what his handlers would tell him, acting as a foreign agent, an unlawful, an unregistered foreign agent for the UAE. You know, rarely can we look at a government press release and be persuaded that, what's going on here is really deadly serious. But I want to quote just one short passage from something that the Assistant Attorney General for National Security, a guy named Mark Lesko, used to be a prosecutor in my former office, the DC U.S. Attorney's Office, what he said after this indictment was unsealed today. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but he said Tom Barrack and his co-defendants exploited his friendship with and access to Donald Trump to advance the policy goals of a foreign government without disclosing his allegiance to that foreign government. The conduct alleged in the indictment is, in a very real sense, a betrayal of the United States. So Tom Barrack is now indicted on seven separate felony charges. Conspiracy to violate the FARA laws, the Foreign Agent Registration Act laws. Conspiracy, violating the FARA laws, that's a second charge. Obstructing justice, and lying to the FBI 4 times, trying to cover up his status as a foreign agent for the UAE. If you add up the statutory punishment for each crime, it totals 50 years. So what are some of the important takeaways besides Donald Trump surrounds himself with criminals? One is that the Department of Justice remains hard at work. We're frustrated. We're dying for accountability for all of the crimes perpetrated by Donald Trump against the American people, against the United States, against our democracy. The Department of Justice remains hard at work. Another important takeaway is there are so many people who are now charged or are about to be charged. Whether it's now Tom Barrack and his co-defendants, whether it's Alan Weisselberg, charged by the New York District Attorney, whether it's Rudy Giuliani, who is not yet charged, but a judge concluded that there was probable cause to believe there was evidence of crime in Rudy Giuliani's electronic devices, issued a warrant, those devices were seized. The smart money is riding on Rudy Giuliani being indicted soon. All of these people are so closely aligned with Donald Trump. They each have one great big bargaining chip, and that is what they can tell prosecutors about the crimes Donald Trump committed. And these three men, for example, Tom Barrack, Alan Weisselberg, Rudy Giuliani, should seriously consider who's going to be the first one in the prosecutor's door to cooperate and get a significant benefit for cooperating against Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump is going down. I predict Donald Trump is going to be criminally charged. And the first person to cooperate against him is going to get the biggest benefit, the biggest bang for their cooperation buck. And these men should wise up. And they should do the right thing, which doesn't seem to be a priority for a Tom Barrack or a Rudy Giuliani or an Alan Weisselberg. But cooperating against Donald Trump would have the fringe benefit of doing the right thing, doing right by the American people, sort of caring about your civic responsibility. And they should wise up, and they should begin to download all of the information they have about Donald Trump's wrongdoing. Give it to the prosecutors, and let's get this accountability show on the road. Because justice matters. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.